Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Madam, thank you so much for coming in today and discussing such important element, job creation, and what you do, so I thank you for that. Two of my colleagues kind of already hit on PIT increase. You're looking at a 21% increase in PIT. 79% of businesses pay for it. That allocation, out of $6 billion in taxes collected over 2 years, only $3 billion is going out the door. It's being driven out through Homestead. Maybe some school districts will hit millage rates. Very few will. We're looking at a 40% increase in sales tax between the hike and the expansion, which hits small businesses. You're talking about taxation of professional services, which are small businesses. And on top of that, you're asking for a 10-10 minimum wage. For no reason at all, but besides, we're the government and we can tell you what to do. With all that compounded and piled on top of each other, how do you expect small businesses to actually survive and want to stay here in Pennsylvania? Because when I go out there, they're not looking forward to any of this stuff.
Okay, well, this is a good one to end on,
yeah.
I guess, right? Yeah, I appreciate the question. That is a good question, and I think part of it, again, I go back to the comprehensive nature of the governor's proposal and the governor's budget. We're looking at opportunities to help small businesses, large businesses, medium-sized businesses, and communities with the things that we do. Part of what we're trying to do is we are really trying to make sure that we have a properly trained workforce. A big part of the governor's budget looks at education before people enter into the workforce, and also training programs that we have in a very big way through WEDNet and also through the Department of Labor and Industry that we need to make sure gets to the right people. And some of those people are small businesses, not just the larger businesses that can take this, that can utilize this assistance. We also need to look at properly funding, again, the programs that we have that can help these small businesses grow. So when there's a need for small businesses to get machinery and equipment to do certain activities, when there's a need for working capital and other items for small businesses, we need to be able to be in a position where we can help them and support them.
I understand the argument. But over 2 years, we're pulling $12.7 billion out of our economy. We're giving $3 billion back to homeowners. And the answer to help small businesses, we're using your huge tax increase to give you government programs to help you. I'm not sure I buy that answer, and I'm not sure the general public does too. Let me move on to the business taxes. It's my understanding that combined reporting affects different companies differently. Has the administration sat down and done any kind of cost-benefit analysis to see who it benefits, who it doesn't benefit, and what that will do to jobs in the Commonwealth? Because obviously the last thing we want to do, and I'm with the governor, I love reducing the capital stock franchise tax, stood up and clapped for him. Love reducing the CNI. Combined reporting, I'm a little iffy on just because what the repercussions may be. So can you try to get to that?
Just, I think, and your question, I think, was are there studies or if we looked at it? And I think we're doing that. We actually are looking at those some of the studies right now, and actually talking to a number of people to see in business owners, and also larger businesses, to see what the effect of that really would be on them. I think from the governor's perspective, it's really trying to level the playing field in terms of the whole tax structure, and this is a big change from what we've seen previously, and I think, again, it's hard to look at certain parts without looking at other parts. It really needs to be looked at comprehensively, and our assumption, I guess, is that this is going to make for a much better tax climate for Pennsylvania through homeowners, through small businesses who also are homeowners that are going to see a significant decrease in their taxes, their property taxes, and other things and programs that we're capitalizing to help them. So that's kind of where we are right now with respect to it.
I appreciate you are looking at that. That's a positive step. Last question. Obviously, the governor is a very astute businessman. He's very good. I would not want to be on the other side of the table doing a business deal with that guy. Knows business through in and throughout. He does business. When he was a businessman, he did businesses in other states. Particularly one was Indiana, which has recently become a right-to-work state. After it became the right-to-work state, wages increased, economic activity increased, and that's something else. You know, when people talk about business climate in Pennsylvania, they want to see this C&I reduced. And they also talk about right to work. Is that something the administration is having discussions with, moving towards more of a free market economy state with right to work?
I've not had any discussions related to that at all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.